So, what is ghee and what makes it so special? Why has it been used for thousands of years to heal things from digestive issues to skin sensitivities and so much more? Hey everyone, I'm Emily and I'm from Farm True and I'm here in my kitchen and I'm talking to you like you would be, hopefully, in my kitchen. Maybe someday we can make that happen. Talking to you about ghee, this magical elixir, this liquid gold that is something that we make at Farm True and we put in a lot of our skincare and face care products. So let's start with what is ghee. Ghee is where do I start? Ghee is the highest quality digestible fat to humans that's available. It is made from butter, but it is no longer butter. It is essentially pure butter oil. It often gets described as clarified butter, but it's not just clarified butter. Ghee is taken to the next level. So when you cook butter and heat it up, often the milk solids start to separate. And clarified butter is when you would maybe skim those solids off the top and you're left with a less milk solidy, oily substance. Ghee is cooked for a much longer period of time until all of the water content in butter, yes, butter has water content. That's why it only lasts in your fridge for about 6 weeks. But ghee, the process of making ghee allows for all the water content to evaporate from the butter and all the milk solids to completely separate. And when they do, they float to the top at first and then they sink to the bottom of the pan where a little bit of caramelization comes in, and that's where you get, at least in the Farm True ghee, this really lovely nutty toasty flavor in the ghee. So after that process, we strain the milk solids out, and what we're left with is Farm True ghee, which is pure butter oil. It has the highest flash point of any cooking oil at 485 degrees. So it's really great to use in place of olive oil or sesame oil or other oils that you might also enjoy cooking with. It's also lactose and casein free because all of the milk solids and the lactose and the casein have been cooked out of the butter in order to make the ghee. It is also shelf stable, so it doesn't need to be refrigerated. In fact, you just leave it on the counter. It'll probably look like this. It gets solid. And then when you warm it up, it liquefies. If you live in a really warm climate like Texas, for example, you might decide you don't want it to be just like liquid oil on your counter. Totally fine. If that's you, you can put it in the fridge. What I don't recommend is pulling it in and out of the fridge. If you decide to leave it in the fridge, that's where it stays. Don't leave it on the counter for a couple hours or a day in between putting it in and out of the fridge. Because really the only way to ruin ghee, the only way that ghee can spoil is through moisture. And so that's where the in and out of the fridge can sometimes cause problems. And it's also why I would recommend keeping your ghee what we call holy, which means no double dipping. If you're using this on toast, you're going to use a clean spoon or a clean knife to dip in there. So that way no crumbs and no extra moisture can get in. Now, if you're going through your ghee pretty quickly, then it probably won't be a problem. But just in case, it's good to keep it clean and holy, as we sometimes say. So what are some of the benefits of ghee? Well, it's a very nourishing substance. It's a very hydrating oil, and it's a very lubricating oil. So lubricating could mean that it could point to the fact that it's really helpful for digestion. Some people have a little bit of a harder time going, and it can help lubricate you from the inside out so that things move a little bit more smoothly. It's not going to make you just run to the bathroom, so don't worry about that, but it will help the processes of your body work a little bit more smoothly, because all the tissues are more unctuous, one of my favorite words, filled with that hydration and oil that can come from infusing your foods with ghee. My favorite fact about ghee is that by simply cooking with it, or simply adding a dollop to your oatmeal in the morning, or by simply adding it to whatever it is that you're making, maybe it's sauteed vegetables with some spices, because the ghee is there with those other foods and herbs, it's going to magnify the qualities and the benefits of those foods and herbs and nutrients, delivering them straight into the deep tissues of the body. It's not just about the skin or the gut. Ghee has this very special quality about it that means that it doesn't gunk up the tissues. It actually can deliver the medicine of the foods and herbs that you're ingesting, whether through your food or through the skin, for example, and taking them deep, deep, deep into the tissues of the body. It's good for all seasons and all doshas. Some of you might know a little bit more about your constitution and which doshas you have more of in your own personal constitution. But it's good to know a little bit more about yourself, to know like how much ghee can I really benefit from. And it might be that certain times of year you're really enjoying more ghee and other times maybe a little bit less. And that's where the seasonality is really fun to experiment with. What else do I want to share about ghee? Oh, one of the things that people have been doing with ghee for a long time is using it in skincare. For example, one of the classic Ayurveda combinations for the face is ghee and honey. And so we also make a ghee and honey cleansing balm that is beautiful for the face. It's very nourishing and hydrating to the tissues, and the honey is also a little bit astringent, so it can really help balance your natural radiance in the skin. We also put it in all of our body oils because it's very nourishing. And so now, as I'm recording this, it's June 1st, and even though it's very cold today here in the Berkshires, we are looking at some warmer weather. Whoop! Look at that. Bumped into the stove. We're looking at warmer weather coming up, and ghee can have a very cooling and soothing effect to the body when you use it in your massage oils, for example. I love sauteing spices and then some vegetables any time of year. So as more beautiful vegetables come into season, it's going to be things like summer squashes with a little black pepper and ginger and coriander sauteed up in some ghee and maybe mixed in with some quinoa to make a cooked salad. What else? Oh, I have to share my absolute favorite way to eat and enjoy ghee. Especially if you like to make bread. And maybe what I'll do is I'll attach my favorite bread recipe to this video for you. Get a really lovely piece of fresh bread and slather on some ghee. And then, don't forget this part, sprinkle a little bit of pink Himalayan salt on top. Now this could just change your life and how you feel about bread and how you feel about ghee and then maybe how you feel about salt too, because the combination is so wonderful and it's a great little side to breakfast or maybe together with a soup if you're having soup on a cold day. But it's such a lovely, lovely, nourishing food. So those are some little tidbits for now. If you have questions, please comment on the video or send us an email. And we'll be sharing more and more and more about this magical, magical substance. Thanks for coming into the kitchen with me today to have a little chat, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.